Nobody expected this matchup to feel this dangerous this fast. But once the idea was out there, the noise around it became impossible to ignore. Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje isn't just another fight fans are debating online. It's one of those rare clashes where almost every possible outcome feels realistic. And that uncertainty is exactly what's pulling people in. Some see chaos working in Paddy's favor. Others think experience is about to crash the party in a very brutal way. And depending on who you listen to, this fight either ends in a shocking statement win, or a harsh reality check. Paddy hasn't been shy about how he sees this playing out. When he talks about Gaethje, there's no fanboy energy left, no admiration, no nostalgia. He's been very open about once watching Justin as a rising monster in the division, studying him long before he ever stepped into the UFC spotlight himself. But that mindset is gone now. In Paddy's words, once the cage door shuts, none of that matters. At that point, it's not about legacies or highlight reels. It's about someone standing in the way of everything he wants. And he's made it clear he plans to treat Gaethje exactly like that. What really boosted Paddy's confidence, according to him, is what he and his team noticed while breaking down Justin's recent fights. Again and again, the same pattern showed up. Gaethje gets hit clean, not grazed, not barely clipped. Clean shots, right on the chin. Paddy believes Justin has grown comfortable absorbing damage just to return fire, a style that made him famous but also cost him against elite competition. He's pointed to past losses and said the same approach won't survive at this level forever. And more importantly, he doesn't believe it works against someone who refuses to stand still and trade. Just for pride, Paddy insists he won't play that game. He talks about range, movement, feints, and picking moments instead of brawling for the sake of it. And then there's the part that really caught people's attention. He's got a feeling, a sneaky suspicion as he calls it, that this fight doesn't even need to reach the ground for him to end it. He's hinted at a knockout, almost casually, as if the idea came to him without effort. That kind of confidence either ages beautifully, or it comes back to haunt you. Training camp has only added fuel to that belief. Paddy says he's been sparring with partners built almost exactly like Gaethje, copying his pressure, his stance, his aggression. He's talked about having success against strikers he considers faster and cleaner than Justin, and that's given him the sense that he's already solved parts of the puzzle. When wrestling comes up, his tone doesn't change at all. He flat out claims that if he wants the fight on the ground, it goes there. No hesitation, no qualifiers. In his mind, hurting Gaethje on the feet is what opens the door. And once that door opens, the finish follows quickly. But this is where the conversation starts to split. Because while Paddy's confidence is loud, the counterarguments are just as sharp. Analysts who lean toward Paddy often point to age and mileage. Gaethje has been in wars, the kind of fights that shave years off careers. Meanwhile, Paddy is younger, fresher, and far more active recently. That gap matters, especially if this turns into a long fight. Some believe that wear and tear eventually shows, no matter how tough you are, and that this could be the moment it finally catches up to Justin. There's also the grappling factor. Paddy's record doesn't lie. A massive portion of his wins come by submission, and once fights hit the mat, he tends to waste very little time. Supporters argue that even though Gaethje's takedown defense looks solid on paper, he can still be taken down. And once he's there, everything changes instantly. In that scenario, the fight doesn't need chaos. It just needs one mistake. But not everyone is buying into that path, so some analysts have pushed back hard on the idea that Justin is still the reckless brawler he used to be. They argue that version of Gaethje is outdated. According to them, his striking has evolved quietly but significantly. Better footwork, smarter feints, cleaner jabs, less blind charging forward. They point to recent fights where he made elite opponents miss and punished them for it. The numbers might not fully reflect it, but the tape does. And that evolution matters because Paddy still gets hit a lot. His defense has improved, but openings are still there. And against someone who thrives on timing and counters, those openings don't stay harmless for long. Critics worry that Paddy's habit of keeping his hands low or reacting late could be exactly what Gaethje needs to turn the fight in his favor, not instantly, but steadily, shot by shot. There's also the question of how Paddy actually gets the fight to the ground. Some breakdowns have pointed out that his grappling success often comes from chaos, rather than clean wrestling, scrambles, unbalanced exchanges, wild kicks that force reactions. Against most opponents, that works. Against Gaethje, it's risky. His sprawl, balance, and ability to reset could shut those moments down before they ever turn dangerous. That's why some predictions hinge on timing. If Paddy can create early disorder, hurt Justin, and capitalize immediately, the upset feels very real. But if that moment doesn't come, the longer the fight stays standing, the more the momentum may shift. Gaethje's pressure isn't flashy, but it's suffocating. He breaks rhythm. He forces exchanges, and once fighters start slowing down, he doesn't let them breathe. Veteran fighters who've weighed in tend to lean toward Justin for that exact reason: experience. He's been through situations that can't be simulated in a gym, moments where everything goes wrong and panic sets in. According to them, Gaethje doesn't panic. Even when he's hurt, even when the fight turns ugly. And that calm under fire is something Paddy hasn't fully been tested on yet. Others point to Paddy's cardio and defensive lapses as lingering concerns. They've noticed moments where his pace drops, his chin lifts, and his reactions slow. Against hesitant opponents, he gets away with it. Against someone who never stops coming forward, those seconds matter, and Gaethje is known for exploiting exactly that. Still, even those picking Justin aren't dismissing Paddy. Almost everyone agrees on one thing: this fight won't be slow. It won't be technical, in a boring way. And it definitely won't be clean for long. Whether it ends in a sudden submission, a grinding TKO, or a moment nobody sees coming, it's the kind of matchup that forces both men into uncomfortable territory, and that's why the debate won't stop. One fighter represents chaos, confidence, and momentum. The other brings experience, refinement, and damage earned the hard way. If this fight happens, it won't just answer who wins. It'll answer who they really are when everything gets messy. So now the question is simple. Do you trust youth, unpredictability, and belief? Or do you side with pressure, evolution, and scars earned in war? Because once that door closes, none of the talk matters anymore. Only who handles the storm better. And someone is walking out changed.